Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blaine High School for CTN's live coverage of high school wrestling. It's the border battle between the Cardinals and the Bengals. Two teams both trying to prove they are better than their rankings. And the Bengals, a little chip on their shoulder as they actually fell in the standings last week.
Yeah, you know, and they come in at, I believe, at number 17. The Cardinals did move up to number 9 today in the polls. And this promises to be a really good one, especially in those middle weights. I think it's going to be strength versus strength, so that should be a lot of fun. This one promises to be a close one.
Well, Coach Josh Prokash of the Bengals said we're pretty solid from 06 all the way up. On the flip side, Coon Rapids needs to make sure they're still close when they get to the middle weights. But unfortunately, their 106-pounder not heavy enough to wrestle at 106 tonight.
Yeah, he didn't. He tried getting there, but on the bus on the way here, but it just didn't. The scales didn't match up.
Came up 0.2 of a pound short at 90.8. And you have to be within 15 pounds, so he's not able to wrestle at 106. So Bengals are going to get some free points to start the night with a forfeit at 106.
Yeah, so they'll start off with a 6-0 lead. So the Cardinals will have a little making up to do, but
For Coon Rapids at 106, open for your Blaine Bengals, Nathan Delaria.
quick night for Nathan Delaria at 106 for the Bengals. He's going to get the win.
So we will start with the 113-pound match for Coon Rapids. We'll see Andre Dimov, and for Blaine, Bryce Young.
Wrestling at 113 for Coon Rapids, Andre Dimov, and for your Blaine Bengals, Bryce Young.
Well, the Cardinals certainly would like to get off to a quick start here at 113.
Dimov able to get a quick shot in and get control of the leg of Young, get him up in the air right away to start this first period. Off the edge of the mat before he could gain control.
He's got some early blood.
Stoppage for blood early on.
Yeah. Oh, bloody nose.
Possibly caught an elbow to the nose as they tumbled back to the mat.
Well, and Bryce Young did a nice job of not getting pulled to the floor till after it was out of bounds.
Back to action, I think. Dimov put a plug in his nostril and
Yes,
he's back
did.
to fight. Makes it a little more difficult to breathe, but
Wrestlers are tough.
Young trying to get in for the double, but held off by Dimov. He's then able to hook the leg underneath.
Yeah, and he couldn't get him turned, but he did get that hook.
Just needs to get behind to gain control, get the takedown. There it is, first points of the night. And then he'll let Young go. A good toss by Young, but he got caught. And then able to shrug Dimov off and get back to square.
Yeah, he just couldn't gain the leverage to Demoff on his back.
Again, Demoff gets in and gets control of that right leg of Young. And the buzzer will sound. It'll be a 4-1 lead for Demov as we start the second.
Nice job by Demoff just to build that lead here in the first period.
Young trying to put the arm bar on Demov, who started on the bottom.
And Demov's not making sure he's not letting himself get turned over.
Young trying to keep control of that arm, it did, and then
Yeah,
able to toss him over. But now a good counter, and Demov nearly had Young in some trouble.
Yeah, he just couldn't hold on to keep his leverage.
No points awarded midway through the second period. That'll be a double leg takedown, but he was already in control, so no points still.
Demov holding that 4-1 lead. Young trying to get him turned.
Trying to put the cradle on. And a stalling warning for Demov on the bottom. 15 seconds left in the second period.
Oh, he's trying to get to his feet too, and Young's not letting him.
So no points in that second period. It'll stay a 4-1 lead for Coon Rapids' Andre Demov. Young quickly to his feet, gets turned around. Demov trying to keep hold of that leg and not give up position.
Yeah, Young's got a hold of Demov's ankle. Really trying to use it against him to see if he can flip him.
Stalemate called, they'll restart. Demov so quick to his feet, or Young rather, so quick to his feet at the start of this period. We'll see if he does the same or if he tries something else to get away. Again, able to get to his feet quickly. Demov trying to break him back down, trip him up.
They did get the point.
He goes in deep on the single leg, tried to go fireman's carry and not able to finish it. Now turning it into a double leg, getting behind, and Young on a good headlock to keep him from getting it. Now there's the takedown that'll tie the match at 4.
Young doing a nice job of coming back here in this third period to tie it up.
Hard crossface looking for that cradle again. Demov spent a lot of time underneath, wrapping that headlock and trying to roll Young over. so high on the headlock, nearly got himself in trouble, but now is going to get some points.
That's 6-6. And he's just trying to get him on his back, get that pin, but Young's not letting it happen.
There's the 3 back points, but then an escape, a takedown, and we're at 9-9.
Oh, I thought the time. That happened after the time ran out. It should. The time ran.
It says 9-6, but
I thought the time ran out.
He
first.
got the 2 near fall points, then the reversal, the 3 near fall points, but then there was a takedown, an escape and a takedown after the 3 near fall points that should have put it to 9-9.
Right.
It should go to overtime. And it looks like that's what they're going to do after the crazy feedback. Or not.
No, I think Coon Rapids got the win.
Oh.
They have the win. I think the time ran out before he got those
the
points.
takedown?
Yep, I do.
So we're having major issues with the PA
Why?
system all of a sudden.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Oh.
The microphone was working fine.
Maybe Trout should get out here and see if he can fix that for him.
Working just fine until now, and all of a sudden it's not so much.
Okay, they're getting the bugs worked out from the mic. There it is.
Well, the music works.
The music definitely works.
And what better to at a wrestling competition than the theme song from the original Karate Kid. You're the best around. So it's really about Shapiro.
Oh, thanks.
So now I think we're ready to wrestle
I
again.
think so.
120 pounds, Israel Medimba for Coon Rapids against Cooper Larson of
No.
Blaine.
I'm not sure why they're... All right, I think we're ready to go.
Larson, a good quick shot to get the leg, gets the takedown right on the edge of the mat.
Yeah, Larson smartly used his leg to
And able to
Medimba
get
down.
Medimba turned back into the circle, and he's going to let him go. Medimba getting in and getting that ankle.
Larson holding a 2-run lead here early.
Again, Medimba goes in deep, gets that ankle, but
Well, Larson's able to control that, but Medimba really quick.
Medimba finally gave up on the angle and gives up another takedown.
Yep.
Larson working the armbar, try and get him turned over.
Oh, he's in trouble now.
Switch to the head, try and get it picked up, force
There it is.
to the mat, and a first period pin for Cooper Larson.
Yeah, tough loss for the Cardinals there. It's going to they'll fall behind 12-3 as we move to 126.
They fixed the microphone.
They did. I'm happy. There you see Larson getting Israel Medimba turned over. Not much Israel can do and gets pinned.
Wrestling at 126 for Coon Rapids. Enoch Medimba for your Blaine Bengals, Terrence Lemley.
Terrence Lemley is the wrestler for Blaine. Yeah, 3 Medimbas in the lineup
Yes.
for Coon Rapids. And
Good
of course,
wrestling family.
yeah, of course, Moses finished in the state championship last year.
Yes, he did. Enoch, just a freshman. They blew the horn. Officials going over to find out what's going on. Apparently the clock didn't start, I believe. So I think they're running 20 seconds off the clock. Oh,
Well, they dropped
103.
40.
Yep.
Lemley had control of the leg, but not able to finish it. This is going to be a takedown right on the edge of the mat to give Lemley the lead here. 30 seconds left in the first period.
Lemley doing a good job of getting position and getting the takedown for the 2 points.
Demba tried to roll out of it and get the reversal, but the buzzer is going to sound, and it'll be a 2-0 lead for Lemley going into the second.
So Blaine deferred. Medimba will start in the down position. Lemley trying to find a way to turn him.
Demba trying to get control of that leg.
Enoch having just a hard time getting up from underneath.
Well,
And Lemley just doing a good job of just keeping his weight on.
right, and doing a good job of working for different ways to try and get him rolled over.
Exactly.
Trying to get the chicken wing in, trying to the arm bar. There's a crossface, and looked at the cradle for a while.
All the moves, tried all his moves.
He's been very active, but no points in this period, and really hasn't gone much of anywhere for the last 90 seconds.
Well, and Enoch wants to just keep this one as tight as possible.
He's going to give up a penalty point. Medimba is going to get the reversal late in this second period. And he will hold on. It'll be a 1-point lead for Lemley as we go into the third.
Nice job by Enoch to get those couple of points to keep this within one after giving up that penalty point. This time Lemley will start on the bottom.
He's going to let him up. Good duck under and a solid takedown by Enoch Medimba to even the score.
He put him hard to the floor.
Lemley back to his feet, tripped down, but off the side of the mat. Gonna let him up again. Time it's Lemley that got in quick. He gets a fireman's carry for the takedown. That'll give him a 3-point lead.
Yeah, a nice move to open up the lead here by Lemley. Enoch took a look up at the clock to see how much time he had.
Minute remaining in the third period. Lemley with control and a 7-4 lead. Medimba to his feet, but broken back down, able to stay off his back.
We're at 40 seconds.
Turning his way out of that hold, but we're going to give him 2 near fall points, and it'll be a 5-point lead.
Yeah, with 36 seconds left, Enoch needs to be aggressive here, trailing by 5.
Well, he needs something that could a reversal to put him right to his back.
Right.
Is about the only opportunity here. And certainly he wants to avoid giving up a couple more points and letting this become a major decision.
Well, that's what Coach Adams said, no more points. Don't give up any more points.
And a good job kicking his way out of that, because nearly had some near fall points right at the end. Instead, it'll be a 9-4 decision for Lemley. And that'll make it a 15-3 lead for the Bengals.
Well, the Bengals have to like the position they're in, jumping out to an early lead. Head coach Josh Prokosh, who wrestled at Osseo. Very familiar, obviously, with the rivalry.
And he said this is one of the teams he really wanted to be able to beat this year. Obviously, a team that when he was in high school was a dominant force in the Northwest Suburban, and now the border battle rivalry between the Bengals and the Cardinals.
He's done a nice job building up this Blaine program.
Studer got in, got a leg, and got the takedown on Lattery to start the scoring.
Yeah, Studer's rated number 8 at 132. This polls came out rankings just came out today. The Cardinals know this is going to be a tough weight for them.
Studer rolls, nearly got Lattery to his back.
Yeah, Lattery did a nice job of just making sure he kicked out of it, but you're right. He had good positioning.
Studer really worked for the arm bar, and Lattery wouldn't give it up. Tripped back down to the mat. Down to 15 seconds remaining in the first. Lattery, good counter. Not able to get his leg out and complete the reverse, but did not give up any more points after the early takedown by Luke Studer.
Yeah, and Studer being the good wrestler, it's a good opportunity for the Cardinals. Just get those 2 points here. Not letting that lead get any bigger in this first period.
Lattery going to the half Nelson. He deferred, and Studer chose down. Trying to get that leg in to gain more control. He's got a pretty strong half Nelson there on the right side.
He's trying to keep it in check.
Stalemate. Lattery working on that leg. Not able to get the half Nelson on quite as quickly this time, and Studer able to pull the arm over the top, try and get his leverage and weight over the top and bring him back under.
And again, he's done a nice job of not giving up any additional points. 45 seconds remaining in period number 2.
Another stalemate. This time Studer able to stand up, get away, and increase his lead to 3-0. Under 30 seconds left in the second. Good quick deep shot and a takedown right on the edge of the mat, able to keep his toes in the circle to get the points and increase his lead to 5. So late escape followed by a nice takedown on the edge of the mat. Helps Luke Studer to a 5-0 lead to start the third.
Yeah, Studer in a good position here going into the third with that 5-point lead. Has been pretty much controlling. He's going to let him up.
Again, Studer able to hook a leg and
get two more.
get another takedown. He's looked good from the feet.
He has. Lattery's just trying to give up as little points here as possible. Down by 6. Now with a minute remaining.
Studer gets in for the double leg, but they're going to be off the mat. Studer just doing a nice job defensively, not letting any of the attempts from Lattery to get through to his legs, and then able to counter and turn it into a takedown. He's just going to let him up again.
Well, he knows he's got a comfortable lead, so he can do that. It's a 9-2 lead.
Never did fully let him go.
Nope.
Going to end with a 9-2 decision.
That'll build Blaine's lead to 18-3. Nice job by Studer there. I mean, you talked about how good he was from his feet that whole match, just doing a nice job of keeping Lattery in check.
This will be Tyler Studer. Johnny Soto, one of the Cardinal captains this season.
Yep. Cards looking for some points, just 3 so far here tonight.
Fireman's carry for the takedown by Studer, and he's got Soto in a little bit of trouble, able to roll back to his base with 2 quick back points.
And that was
a 4-point lead.
That was a key for Soto, just to try and get out of that.
Again, going to the fireman's carry is Studer. It's effective again.
Yeah, he's able to gain points, 6-1 lead.
Going to pick up at least a couple more back points here.
Building that lead to 8-1. 8-2 now, sorry.
Turns it into a double leg takedown. He'll add to his lead 10-2 as the first period expires.
Nice first period for Tyler Studer to build up that 10-2 lead. Studer can continue to just keep him to the mat with that 10-2 lead.
Studer keeping Soto tight to the mat to start this second period.
Yeah, I mean, just looking for that leverage, see if Studer's looking for that to see if he can turn him, but with that 10-2 lead, it can certainly, as long as he doesn't get called either one for any stalling, he can continue to keep Soto at the mat.
There's the warning for Soto to quit stalling. Never able to get free of the grasp of Studer into the final 20 seconds of the second period. No points at all in this period. It remains a 10-2 lead for the Bengal wrestler.
Again, just working the edge of the circle. So now Johnny has his work cut out for him here, down 10-2, moving into the third.
Studer quickly to his feet off the whistle. Soto works for it and gets the takedown.
Yeah, so that'll give him 2 points to make it 11-4.
Again, Studer quick to his feet. Quick move. He got the escape and trying to finish it with a reversal, and he will.
And Studer just being patient with him, just make sure that he does not get out from underneath him. time winding down here.
This is going to turn out to be a major decision for Tyler Studer at 13-4.
Puts the Cardinals in a deeper hole.
Winner at 138 by major decision, Tyler Studer.
Make it 22-3. And Coach Adams talked about the next 4 weights coming up. No, I think starting at 152, so we have 145.
Well, they know this is where they need to turn it around.
Well,
Alex Kowalczyk, a state competitor last year. Christian Gresseth is the Bengal on the mat.
Well, the Cardinals definitely need points here in this one.
Gresseth with a fireman's carry, but good recovery by Kowalczyk to get control and not give up the takedown. And now they're going to give the 2 points to Kowalczyk for turning it into a takedown and getting some control.
Yeah, he came out aggressive here to start this match.
Oh, and what a great counter. I mean, it was a nice pickup by Gresseth. Got him up in the air, but not able to finish it off. Tried to roll out. And Kowalczyk stays with him.
Alex just trying to turn him. He's been in control of this. Just 2 points, but still in control so far in this first period.
Working the arm bar. Gresseth doing a nice job of keeping his hands together underneath him. Still driving for it, and he's going to get some back points out of it. Whoa, what a bridge from Gresseth on the edge. All the way onto the top of his head.
Yeah, and he's trying to work himself off the mat.
Final seconds. Wow, that was an impressive bridge.
Yes.
There will be 3 near fall points for Kowalczyk, so a 5-0 lead after the first, but you don't see a much better bridge than that from Christian Gresseth. Quickly in on the single leg off the whistle was Kowalczyk.
Kowalczyk working his leg under to try and bring him down, able to do so.
Potentially dangerous. We'll go back to the neutral position at the middle of the mat.
Now they're just looking for a position with time winding down here in period number 2.
A lot of action, no points in this period, though. If it goes another 15 seconds without a point, that'll be the third time in 6 matches that we've seen a second period with no score.
And I think we'll see that, Joe.
And so Kowalchuk will start underneath Gresseth here in the third period. And, you know, Coon Rapids not only needs victories, but they could really use bonus points.
No, absolutely.
Through the next couple of matches.
Yeah, they're in a bit of a hole.
They got some of their stronger guys coming up at the end, obviously. Gavin Layton, their heavyweight, has been ranked in the top 10 all year. Zach Thomas has made his way into the rankings as well. But like to close that gap as quickly as possible.
Well, yeah, especially coming up at 152 because Blaine has a ranked wrestler here in that class.
Yeah, he wasn't ranked all year
Nope.
long until this week, and he's now ranked 4th.
That's impressive. He's done some good things to move himself into that position.
And another stalling warning for Cardinal on the bottom. And there's a penalty point. It's the first point since the first period. And we're under 20 seconds remaining here in the third.
Yeah, unless Kowalczyk does something here, Cardinals will get the win, but just the 3 points. See, 2.5 seconds remaining here in period number 3.
Trying to roll out at the last second was Kowalczyk. He's not able to do so, but he will get the 5-1 decision.
That'll make it 22-6. We go to 152.
This will be Dalen Jones for Coon Rapids taking on Lafreniere.
Yeah,
who, as we talked about it,
number 4.
Pinned some of the other top guys in the state and went from unranked to number 4. Quickly in, gets the ankle, gets Jones's leg up in the air, gets the takedown and right to the back. Jones able to quickly get turned back to his base.
Dalen going to try and use some of his quickness to get low.
Well, and he gives up some length to
does.
Lafreniere, and Frenier has already shown he's got some quickness as well.
Yep. That should be.
That Jones is unhappy and a little shaken up.
He went down hard and he was well out of bounds. Coaching staff's arguing that Dalen being warned by an official. Coaching staff just trying to
Well,
get him to settle down a little bit.
Gear.
Well, that also trying to settle him down a little bit.
So 2-2 here. 50 seconds left after. Takedown off the mat. Jones got in deep, but right on the edge. Reset, nearly tripped up the official.
Yeah.
Lafreniere got in, got the leg, pulled him back in, and gets the takedown in the final seconds here of the period. And that'll give him the lead back at 4-2.
This has definitely been the most physical match so far here tonight.
Think we'll see another second period without any scoring?
We'll find out. I'm going to say no.
Stalling point more than halfway through the third was the only point we saw scored after the first period at 1:45. Jones doing a nice job of staying behind Lafreniere.
Well, and yeah, just not letting him up.
Working to control the arm. And now an escape.
Yeah, both wrestlers just trying to find that edge, trying to gain that edge. Neither one able to control the other at this point here. Nice,
Good
nice
toss tip for the takedown for Jones.
Yeah, and
Lafreniere.
And he got in there quickly. Increase his lead to 7-2.
Working the corner Nelson to get Jones turned over, but He will get 2 near fall points right at the end of the period. But Jones may have been saved by the buzzer.
Yes.
Trailing now 9-2. Jones went to the headlock, lost it, went right to his back, and Lafreniere squeezed in the headlock, trying to finish it. He's got him right in the center of the mat with a lot of time left.
A lot of time.
Here in the third.
And he's really got position here. And Dalen just trying to stay out of it.
Leans back on it and gets the pin at 4 minutes and 43 seconds.
And Dalen had some words for him. That's going to be a penalty point against the Cardinals. And it should. Coach Tronson trying to corral him.
So instead of it being 28-6, it will now be 28-5. Demetrius Seals against Jordan Gresseth.
Well, Cardinals need some points badly here. And we still have some time left, but trailing 28-5 now.
Gresseth gets Seals' leg and is now dragging him back into the middle of the mat. And will complete the takedown. Seals still battling, able to get back square and get the escape.
Able to get 1 point back. Again, both wrestlers being aggressive here to start. With 30 seconds left here in period number 1. Neither wrestler with an advantage yet, although Seals took a little bit of a shot to the face. I think we're going to see this one 2-1 here in the period.
Just the only takedown of the period. And Gresseth has that 2-1 lead.
Seals did a nice job of not letting him up and get away, bringing him back to the mat. Well, he's got a little trouble there.
It's only going to be 2 near fall points, but Seals needs all the points he can get.
Yes, he does.
That will put him into the lead 3-2. Nearly getting away was Gresseth, but they're going to end up off the mat. Seals nearly lost control of him and then put him in the headlock and nearly got him back
Yeah, he was
towards
close
the
there.
mat.
Well, Seals did a good job from controlling for on top.
Again, Gresseth nearly got away, but Seals able to get back in control.
It just went out of bounds, but Seals had 1 foot in, was trying to see if he could turn him. And Demetrius again trying to use that leverage to turn him, but did a nice job of getting back to center.
We're going to have another Oh, there was a score in this
There was,
third,
yes.
second period that had the near fall points there. So third period, Demetrius Seals with a 3-2 lead over Jordan Gresseth. Quickly to his feet off the whistle. Gresseth trying to drag him down, not able to do so.
Now with that escape point, gives him that 4-2 lead. Coach Trotson telling him to change his leverage.
One minute remaining and still a 4-2 lead for Demetrius Seals in the neutral position. Good head toss, and he was able to get around behind. Now trying to get him turned over. Coon Rapids needs the win, as we talked about.
Yes.
They could really use some bonus points. Gonna let him go, and not quite. Now he's up. Doing a good hip toss. Seals able to drive his legs, but then got turned over, and he's in some trouble.
Yes.
This would be a huge turnaround. He's able to get back to his base. 2 near fall points, and the Bengals are going to steal a victory away right at the end. Take the 7-6 win.
No, it's
Oh, it's
7-7.
7-7.
Yep.
So we're going to overtime. Next point wins. And that's
That's
a
it.
takedown for Demetrius Seals on the... Wow.
Well, and Gresseth did a nice job
Overtime win.
of getting back into it to get that to overtime. Nice win for Demetrius Seals. Puts the lead at 28-9 in favor of the Bengals.
Well, so they gave him I thought they took a penalty point away for.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? There was 5 on
Originally,
there.
now they went to 28.
They went back to 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Juma El Sheikh, the wrestler for the Bengals, against Elijah Madimba. Elijah also at the state tournament last year. He starts with a takedown.
Yeah, and this is something that this will be a good opportunity for Coon Rapids to see with Elijah here in this weight class, to see if he can gain leverage and get some bonus points for his squad, because they certainly need it as we're getting
down to
this.
five matches remaining. Madimba in on a single leg, does the ankle pick. Takedown, trying to work on that arm underneath. Let him go again.
That puts it at 4-2. Favor of the Cardinals. Madimba will take that 4-2 lead into the second period. See if he can keep control, being on top here. Blaine, coaching staff telling him a good time for him to get up. But Madimba making sure he's trying to keep him back to the mat. He does.
Working on that left arm. Trying to get him turned over. Sheik able to get to his feet and get the escape. Madimba in double leg, but off the mat. Madimba tried the hip toss and not.
Oh,
he's going to drive himself on top and put El Sheik in a lot of trouble.
El Sheik does a nice job of rolling over.
Only 2 near fall points.
Going to make it 8-3. Favor the Cardinals.
Going cross face to get that left arm again and see if he can't. Now he's looking for the cradle instead, and he's got it. And El Sheik in all kinds of trouble, and there's the pin with 24 seconds left.
Oh, and they needed
in the
it
second period.
Cuts the lead to 28-14. Elijah doing a good job The cradle getting him over, turned on his back and gets the pin.
So Zach Thomas on the mat for the Cardinals against Andrew Huss. And Zach, another one of the Cardinal captains, had not been ranked until this week and cracked into the top 10.
Yeah, made 10 at 170.
Working to control that right arm of Huss, try and get around behind him, not able to do so. Able to get around behind him this time, get the takedown. Thomas looking for the cradle underneath. Getting Thomas bent up, or Huss rather, bent up.
Yeah, he just.
But not enough. He's
Nope.
going to run out of time here in the first period. He'll go to the second with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Huss was doing a good enough job to make sure he didn't allow himself to get turned. And
Good shot this time by Huss, and Thomas scrambling to stay out of the takedown.
And Thomas has control the back left leg of Huss as well.
Now call stalemate.
Yep. Thomas doing a good job keeping his, trying to get him turned. Under a minute left in period number 2. A couple more points for Thomas.
Pushes lead to 6-0. Still 35 seconds left here in the second period. Half Nelson driving with the legs to get him turned over, and he has him under 15, and there's the slap on the mat. Back-to-back pins for the Cardinals.
Yeah, puts him now down by just 8. With 3 weight classes left.
Great half Nelson to get it His man turned over, get the pin for Zach Thomas.
That was a big one.
And now it's Eric Ramos against Isaac Atchison of Blaine. Ramos has been moved up to 220 and been doing well at the higher weight class, so hoping he can bring it down and be successful as well at the 195 class.
And just pushing him toward the edge. They're off again.
Good shot by Atchison and then able to get around behind. He will get the takedown and get the first points of the match.
Atchison looking over to the bench, getting some instruction here. This is controlling Ramos so far on top.
Ramos to his feet and able to get the escape just before the end of the first to make it 2-1.
Yeah, good job getting that point. Atchison will start in the down.
Ramos got caught holding on too long. The reversal for Atchison. Give him a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, Atchison was able to use his quickness to get those points.
Warning for stalling for Ramos.
And then Atchison, again, just using his weight to stay on top, and Ramos not able to get up. saying got a bloody nose. Now both wrestlers getting a little bit of attention here.
Well, I think that some of Ramos's blood is on Atchison's arm.
Yeah, a little blood on the mat as well, getting rid of that. 13.4 seconds remaining in period number 2. Looking to get back at it here.
Ramos able to get to his feet, but buzzer will sound, and it'll be a 4-1 lead for Atchison going to the third period.
We'll see the strategy Atchison has here with just a slim 3-point lead. Ramos going to try and work his way out from underneath.
Get to his feet, but Atchison able to keep hold of the left leg. Break him back down right on the edge. Finally, Atchison just lets him go. Comes back at him, trying to get the headlock, and
an opportunity for Ramos here to see if he can get back into this, just trailing by 2.
Atchison went in and chased him off the mat. But now Ramos has to be the one that gets aggressive here in the final 45 seconds. He needs those points for his team.
Ramos needs to find a way to take advantage here. Needs to look for an opening.
Six seconds remaining. And that is going to do it, and it's going to be a 4-2 win for Atchison. And Cardinal coaching staff asking for a point deduction for the late contact by Atchison. It won't come. And that means Coon Rapids essentially needs two pins to win.
Which is certainly possible. But starts all right here at 2:20.
2:20, Coon Rapids will send Riley Hargrave out against Miki Hexum.
The Cardinals like their upper weights here, and there's an opportunity for Hargrave to try and see what he can do. And certainly Blaine knows that, obviously, to stay out of the pin.
Hexum able to rush Hargrave, put him straight to the mat, onto his back, in some trouble. Hargrave able to spin his way out.
He's going to get 3.
It's a quick 5-point move. Hexum working the armbar, get him rolled over right on the edge of the mat here late in the first. He's going to get some more near fall points at least. Hargrave able to roll out of it, but 3 more will be an 8-0 lead for Hexum after the first.
Yeah, Hexum did a nice job again to build that lead in the first period. Got the takedown here.
Well, and Hargrave needs a pin.
Yeah, he definitely.
And now he can't wrestle for points.
Nope.
I mean, a tech fall would be great, but that would require 21 unanswered per. And Hexum has another takedown. Riley's only been wrestling for a couple of years. He plays hockey and football, or football and baseball as well.
Right.
Big, strong kid. As we talk about it, he needs to find a way to get Hexum on his back.
On Hexum again. He's doing a nice job of controlling it. Really not allowing Riley to get that position. Another takedown. Nope.
Hargrave able to work to his feet. Hexum just keeping the pressure on.
The time is winding down here in period number 2. Big lead for Hexum.
Well, and he went out there knowing that as long as he gave up anything less than a tech fall, it would clinch the victory for his Bengals. And that's a big win. Border battle, and the fact that it's 17 against number 9.
And I think Blaine came into this feeling a little disrespect in terms of the 17 rating. They're looking just to prove that they're better than that. Number 17.
Hargrave able to get the reverse, get Hexum in a headlock, and Hexum's in some trouble. Hexum may be in a lot of trouble. Hargrave leaning back, he got the pin, and that is huge.
Wow.
He was down 10-0, gets the reversal in the pin 30 seconds into the third period.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, it looked like it was going to be Hexham's match. Now it comes down to the big boys. That's a huge win for the Cardinals.
Well, it means,
and his teammates are mobbing him.
And they should.
And they should is right.
He was being dominated. He gets into the third, gets the reversal he needed, and gets Hexham in a headlock, puts him to the mat, and now sends their top-ranked wrestler out, Gavin Layton, a chance to get the pin and give the Cardinals a win, and that would be gigantic.
It would be huge.
And instead, it's Powers getting the takedown and getting Layton in a headlock, and he slips out and gets the reversal. Oh, they didn't give him the takedown,
No.
so they didn't say he had control. Layton will get the takedown and have a 2-0 lead.
Now, Layton comes in, and you talked about it, the highest rate, number 6 at this 285 heavyweight position.
And he's done a lot of pinning so far this season. This one, if he's able to do it, would be gigantic. Coon Rapids had to forfeit the opening round, and here it is. Layton getting Powers rolled over the mat, pin in a minute and 4 seconds, and Coon Rapids with the come-from-behind victory. They're going to win by 1 point.
Wow, I'm glad we were here to see this. This was a very special win for the Cardinals. And as you talked about, a relatively quick pin for Gavin Layton. And the Cardinals are going to win this one 32-31.
Well, the Cardinals had to forfeit at 106 because their wrestler wasn't heavy enough to wrestle at 106. They were down 28-5, then had an overtime victory, back-to-back pins, and after a win at 195 for Blaine, back-to-back pins for Coon Rapids to get the victory. And
Here it is.
I mean, as big as Layton's was, this comes down to Riley Hargrave in the
his
third
was even
period
bigger,
at
obviously,
220,
because he's down big.
10-0, getting the reversal in the pin and giving Layton the opportunity to go out there and get the victory with a pin.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's a great win. I mean, you look like Blaine coming into this was going to take this one, and give credit to the Cardinals, just doing such a great job of getting those two late pins, come back and win it by 1. That's huge.
Doesn't get much more dramatic or at the last second than that.
It does not.
Going down to the final weight class, but also, with Hargrave looking like he wouldn't have a chance in that third period. You and I even starting to talk a little bit about, this being a big win for Blaine.
Well, yeah, because it would have been.
Anything short of that exactly what happened, and it would have been a Blaine victory, but just a huge, huge reversal and pin for Riley Hargrave, followed by a pin by Gavin Layton at heavyweight to get the Coon Rapids Cardinals a 32-31 win.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and obviously hats off to Blaine. They did a nice job of building up that lead, but more so to the Cardinals for coming back and getting the 1-point win, and that's a big victory for them.
That's what we're here for.
Yes. Provide the coverage for the big victories.
Well, and more big action coming up. Girls basketball against Maple Grove live at 7 o'clock. We'll see the boys basketball team next weekend in their holiday tournament. But that is going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score from Blaine High School. It's Coon Rapids 32, Blaine 31. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. To the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.